Hey, hi everybody, it's Gwyn from Rostrum again, and I've got a very special guest with me today, and she's going to tell you a little bit about herself so that you get to know who she is, and then we're going to talk about her experiences with Rostrum, her experiences with me, and then we'll see. It's okay to be absolutely honest, okay? We've got no problem. The more or less unvarnished truth, or even the unvarnished truth, is okay. Can you just introduce yourself, please, and let them know who you are?
Hi, I'm Virkein Manglik. I am a fifth-year law student here at Amity University, Noida, and I applied to colleges in the US and UK, and of course got decisions also, some of my dream schools as well. So yeah.
So okay, so exactly. So let's get the big picture out of the way. How many did you actually apply for?
I applied to 17 colleges.
17.
I've been accepted to University College London, King's College London, Queen Mary University of London, University of California, Berkeley, and UCLA. Yeah.
Okay, so Queen Mary, KCL, and UCL. You didn't mention what's your speciality in law?
LLM and Competition Law, antitrust, AI, technology.
Yeah, okay.
More inclined towards that.
But do you want to explain about, because you're still waiting on some scholarships, right?
Yes, I'm still waiting on the scholarships from Berkeley, and I'm still waiting to hear from Stanford. So that's fingers crossed.
Okay, so let's go through it a little bit, or rewind. So first of all, and actually I don't even know this, how did you end up choosing Rostrum?
From my first year itself, I was in touch with Yatharth and Sanjog.
The founders of Rostrum, yes.
I was in touch with them, and at that time I wasn't very sure about pursuing an education abroad, a master's abroad. But with time and with my specialization, once I decided my specialization, it was like Rostrum was the only option for me.
What was it about Rostrum?
There was a common friend of mine who was here and got into his dream school. So he advised me, told me about the process, told me how easy the counselors here make the application process. So upon a lot of research and a lot of sessions with Yatharth and you, of course, so there was everything was sorted that way. Before joining Rostrum, I didn't exactly know how to structure my personal statement, because there's this misconception, a lot of that you should include quotations in your personal statement, and apart from that, things like community service, so a lot of those myths were broken.
It's a long process. How long has it taken us from originally signing on to getting the first offer in?
It will be an year next month.
Yeah, okay. So you said that the process was easy. Could you maybe take them through what the process involved? Can you explain a little bit and tell about how you felt about it as well?
Yeah, sure.
And was I always kind, or was I sometimes not?
It was just, I guess, 2 times when I got a nice scolding, but it was much needed, I would say.
Okay, so we got things. Can you just tell them about the process?
So
please?
yeah, so I was asked to shortlist the colleges, and that was one of the most difficult tasks, because I wanted to apply to only top schools. And that's what we did. We applied to the top schools. And apart from that, deciding the specialization in those schools was another challenging task for us. So for that, there were a lot of discussions with me and Gwyn as to how we would navigate that. So, and then we came up with antitrust and artificial intelligence intersection, because apparently that was one common thing that was good at all the colleges of that we had shortlisted. And after that, the major work was done was the briefing sheets. So it took me a lot of sessions to get the briefing sheets right, because initially it was I was very, very specific about things. I wasn't getting into the details.
Sorry to interrupt. Can you just give them an overview of what a briefing sheet is? Hopefully they've seen some of the other videos and know what they are, but for those of them that are listening in for the first time, what is the famous briefing sheet?
So briefing sheets are basically a consolidated report, basically notes for yourself as to which faculties you like at the college, which courses you want to pursue at the school. Apart from that, it also contains brief aspects of what you've already done and how would that relate to what you want to pursue in the future.
Yeah, and also particular professors you want to work under, what your particular goals are in the future. It goes into a great deal of detail, and massively important in the way in which you end up phrasing it on the applications, but it serves you well. Okay, so how did you feel about those briefing sheets?
It took me 2-3 sessions when I actually started getting them right, but once they were done, it was like more than 50% of my work for my personal statement and the other essays was already done with the briefing sheet.
What about the writing of them, the writing of the actual applications themselves?
Yeah, that was again a very, very tiresome work. So because I was very specific about all the 17 colleges that I'd applied to, different personal statements, different essays for all of them, and how to structure them according to the prompts that were given by the universities. So.
Why is that? Please reiterate, because I've been saying this in some other videos this morning. Why is the specificity regarding the prompt so important?
Yeah, initially I was also lacking there, but the prompts, from what I've realized, is answering the prompts makes us easier to structure the structure the personal statement, because then it's basically a checklist as to what is there in the personal statement and we have covered everything or not.
And being very, very specific with what they say, and although creativity has its place in the world, for applications, we want to answer exactly what they ask.
How to correctly answer the prompts and yet not miss out on what my profile was already, what was already on my profile was one added advantage.
How many drafts did we do on some of the applications, do you think?
For Berkeley we did 3-4 drafts. For LSE also we did a lot of drafts.
A lot of drafts, okay.
Yes.
Okay, so you did your research. How did you manage to fit that in with what was the time management side of it, I suppose is the question?
It was like most of my weekends were about my applications, and apart from that also during my college days, and I was also interning, so it was really hectic.
Yeah.
But I always made it a point to at least take out 1.5 hours or 2 hours for my college research.
What about your interactions with the rest of the team here? Could you, rest of the Rostrum team?
I was in contact with my team here every now and then. We would have sessions every month, almost every month, with how to get my research paper published and some queries regarding certificate courses, scholarship applications and things like that. The mentors here were really helpful. The communication here was very strong. I would get replies from almost everyone on the team, and really constant communication was there. There was never a break in the communication. So there were times when I really odd hours where I would call the team and ask them for help just before the deadline with some silly question that I'm worried about something or anything. Apart from that, I was very anxious during the entire application process as to how I would manage the time and the deadlines, and also when I was not getting the decisions, I was waiting for decisions, and when I got a few rejections in the beginning, that was
I was gonna come to that. So how were you feeling when you got the rejections?
When I got the rejection, I was really upset. Cried my heart out for the very first one, and then I emailed you that this happened, and I was really nervous. So I applied to one college that was a safe school for me. So though everyone here also said that I should not worry, but I still did apply. Went to that on-spot session that you advised me to go, and that was amazing, boosted a lot of confidence. And apart from that, I would say that rejection was heartbreaking, but at the same time, it was, I would say, an eye-opener for me.
I think the rejection step by step, you're going to get rejections. You're not automatically going to get in. I mean, we've got other, apart from you, you've done really well, but we've got plenty of other clients who've got 6, 7, 8 offers from different master's programs. But you get rejection, then another rejection, then another rejection, and you begin to doubt the process. And it's like, it's on the way there. You have to go through this.
I went to an on-the-spot event of Queen Mary University of London. So before that, I had a session with Gwyn about the preparation as to what should I actually go with. Should I research? Should I study about the technicalities or anything, but it was more about I should know about my subject, any questions that I should ask them. And apart from that, the advice that was given to me was to calm down, relax, because I had just gotten two rejections from good colleges, and that was a setback for me at that time. But so for me to gain confidence and to attend that session was important thing to do.
It was important. Now, did you attend any webinars or any? Did you have any interviews, or what was the process?
There were no interviews for me, but I attended a lot of webinars for LSE, for UCL. I also attended the KCL's information session that they organized here in New Delhi.
And all of that information went on your briefing sheet, right?
Yes, everything was there on the briefing sheet. All my webinars were on the briefing sheet.
You've got your dream university, so which I'm delighted, and every time you got an offer in, I like it, I love it when you do that. But what would you do differently? What advice would you give to others?
To just calm down, keep a track of the deadlines, and don't keep the work pending till the deadlines like I did. So please don't do that. I did everything just a week before the deadline. I would rush things up, constantly email you. The deadline is just next week. So you should everything should be done early. I did everything just at the deadline.
My stress level, my blood pressure, but okay, fine. Yeah. So, but your advice would be to start early, because then you can, once you get your list, then you can do your briefing sheets, you can prepare some of your answers and the whole. Okay, great.
Apart from that, it would also give us time to manage the CV, to add some things on the CV. So, as much time as you have for that, it's always a plus point.
Any hints or tips about the scholarship applications?
Scholarship applications, it was no extra work for me. It was just as and when we started with the briefing sheets, and we would also write some personal.
But you had a good list of scholarship places. How did you do your research on this?
Yeah, about scholarships, the office helped me a lot. In the initial days when I had just signed up with Rostrum, I had a session with my mentor here, Shruti. So she gave me a nice list of scholarships that I was eligible for, but apart from that also there were some scholarships I was not eligible for. So those things were worked out, and then
But most of the work had already been done because it was covered in other areas. It's just rephrasing and getting it there. All right. We still got a little bit more work to do to make final decisions about where you're going, etc., etc. Yeah. All right. So any last words, or is this it?
My experience was very relaxing, relieving for me. Apart from that, I would say that it was a very enriching experience here. I would have a lot of discussions with a lot of people, and then come to make an informed decision about what I would do. I would say for me, I've known the team here for the past 5 years. On and off, I was in touch with them, decided to join last year itself. So for me, this decision was a good decision. I would say, Berkeley it was a really good decision for me. So I made the right decision there.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
I'm so happy. Thank you. Please, this is the reality. This is the reality of the situation, of the way you work through it, the good and the bad, the happy and the sad. It's a process, but we know the process. Thank you, everybody.